traditional lands of the Blackfoot Nations, which includes the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Iyethka, Nakota, Wiskata Nations of Chiniki, Bearspaw, Goodstoney, and the Tsuut'ina Nation. Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, including the Battle River Territory. We recognize and thank all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples who have lived on and cared for this land for generations. Thank you for joining us. Today we have an update on the Bearspaw South Feeder Main. We will be hearing from General Manager of Infrastructure Services, Michael Thompson, and Mayor Jeremy Farkas. We'll hear their remarks and then there will be an opportunity to ask questions. We ask that you please keep your questions limited to one question and one follow-up. I will now turn the podium over to General Manager of Infrastructure Services, Michael Thompson.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Thompson, General Manager of Infrastructure Services with the City of Calgary. Thank you for joining us today. We're now just days away from shutting down the Bearspaw South Feeder Main for our planned reinforcement work. Water restrictions will begin this Monday, March 9th, and last for about 4 weeks. Today, I'm here with an update on our work and a call to action. It's time to get ready. With the pipe out of service, we will not be able to move as much water as we normally do from our treatment plants to your taps. This impacts not just Calgary, but also our neighbors in Airdrie, Chestermere, Strathmore, and Tsuut'ina Nation. We will need to pull together over the next 4 weeks to keep our water use below 500 million litres a day to make sure our community stays safe. This is very achievable if everyone takes a few small actions to save water each day of the restrictions. Starting Monday, March 9th, we're asking everyone to set a goal of reducing your water use by 25 litres a day. 3 simple actions you can take are: only flush when needed. A low flush toilet uses 5 litres of water a flush. Your action of saving 5 flushes a day makes you a water hero. Limit your showers to 3 minutes. Every minute cut from your low floor shower saves almost 8 litres of water. Your action of reducing shower from 6 minutes to 3 minutes makes you a water hero. And only washing full loads of dishes and laundry. A dishwasher uses 28 litres of water, and a front load washing machine uses 62 litres. Your action of running these when full and not half full makes you a water hero. If we can all be water heroes for the next 4 weeks, our collective actions will add up to saving millions of litres of water and will keep our community safe. You can also take action now before water restrictions start on Monday, March the 9th. If you have water-heavy chores you'd like to tackle, please do them this weekend. If you have a mountain of laundry, do it this weekend and get it done before restrictions start on Monday, March the 9th. If you need to wash your car, do it this weekend. It's also a great weekend to check for water leaks in your house. Fixing these will not only save water for you all year long, but will also save you money all year long. You can find tips on water leak detection and water saving for every room in your house at calgary.ca/savewater. And as I mentioned before, we need your help to spread the word. We're doing what we can to let everyone know about the water restrictions using news, social media, ads, signs, and more. Today, information postcards will start arriving to all Calgary homes, informing them about water restrictions and the actions that can be taken. We've also been reaching out directly to businesses, industry, and partner organizations and our neighboring communities to help them prepare and identify short-term opportunities to save water in the weeks ahead. You can help by spreading the word at home, at work, and online. Talk to your family about your household plans to save water. Discuss it with your friends, neighbors, and coworkers, and on your social media. Share what steps you are taking to save water and to be a water hero. The more people who know about the restrictions and take action to save water, the easier it will be to keep our use under 500 million litres a day, and the better off our community will be. Over the next 4 weeks, we will be reinforcing a total of 9 segments of pipe. 6 on 16th Avenue near Sarcee Trail interchange, and 3 at the Point McKay Park. We will also complete some additional feeder main related work during this time. This weekend, we will be mobilizing for the start of construction. Here's a bit of what you can expect to see. Beginning on Saturday morning, March the 7th, contractors will be reducing 16th Avenue near the Sarcee interchange to create space for crews to safely perform their work. Full lane closures will be put in place on the exit ramp from 16th Avenue Northwest and on the exit ramp onto Sarcee Trail and on the exit ramp off Sarcee Trail onto westbound 16th Avenue Northwest. 16th Avenue Northwest will remain open, but you can expect slowdowns due to the lane restrictions. We encourage drivers who are heading west on 16th Avenue to plan ahead and to anticipate a slowdown. On Monday, we will stop water flowing through the pipe and begin draining the water from it so it's safe for crews to carry out their work. You will see crews working in and around manholes and valve access points throughout the Bowness Park, Shoaldice Park, and the communities of Bowness, Montgomery, and Parkdale. You may see large amounts of water being drained from the feeder main to the river. Again, we need to do this to allow crews to safely carry out their work. We will be monitoring the water quality in the river to avoid impacts to the environment as part of our regulatory requirements. To close, I want to again ask you to please take a few days to get ready for the upcoming water restrictions starting on Monday, March the 9th. Do your heavy cleaning, put up reminder notes in your kitchen, bathroom, and laundry room, and talk to your family, friends, and coworkers to spread the word and talk about your plans to be a water hero. Stay tuned in to the city's social media channels, news updates, and calgary.ca/savewater for regular communication updates. On Monday morning, please start saving water at home and at work. Keeping our collective demand below 500 million litres is in our reach, and I have every confidence that we can get there through this together. Our next media availability will be Monday afternoon. I'll now turn things over to Mayor Farkas. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and we'll say for the record, GM Thompson, you are my water hero, especially if we can get this new pipe built by December. Calgarians, we are now 4 days away from a return to water conservation so that we can undertake planned emergency repairs to the South Bearspaw Feeder Main as we continue to move forward with the replacement project that remains on track to be completed by the end of this year. I know that this is a situation nobody wants to be in. I know that it is frustrating that we're once again entering stage 4 water restrictions. And it's not just the City of Calgary. Many of our surrounding community neighbors, the Tsuut'ina Nation, Airdrie, Chestermere, and Strathmore, all depend on this critical piece of water infrastructure. So while I know it is frustrating to hear once again that we will need to make changes to our day-to-day routines, I want to remind Team Calgary of the small steps that will help us get through the next month. That means limiting your showers to nope. That's definitely not what I meant. That means limiting your showers to 3 minutes or less, reducing how often you flush where possible, running your dishwasher and washing machine only when loads are full, and being mindful of your overall water use. It means talking to your friends, family, and neighbors. These small steps make you a water hero and go a long way towards securing the water our city needs, helping us avoid unintended incidents that could require even more drastic measures like we saw in December. Now, I do want to be clear. Even though we are taking these proactive measures now, and again later this fall, that does not mean we are completely out of the woods yet. This pipe, as has been said before, is terminally ill. And frankly, another segment could fail at any moment. So these planned shutdowns may not be the only instance where we have to deal with this challenge as a city. And I want to talk about that for a moment, because Calgary is Canada's third largest city. We're one of the fastest growing cities in North America, and we are the economic engine not only of this province, but of this country. Ours is a city of potential, a city of growth, prosperity, and investment, and a magnet for people from around the world. And yet here we are, dealing with a generational challenge, a critical piece of water infrastructure that supplies 60% of the drinking water for a city and many of our regional partners. It is challenging and it is embarrassing that we're having this conversation in the first place. But I want to be very clear with Calgarians. We are taking the needed steps to fix this problem once and for all. That's why we are making this generational investment to replace this pipe and to do it on an incredibly ambitious timeline. The replacement project is on track to be completed by the end of the year. That is an intense timeline. It may be the fastest the City of Calgary has ever completed a project of this scale. And it may well be one of the fastest timelines anywhere in the world for work like this. We are setting an example of what can be done when a city comes together and focuses on solving a problem. So yes, this is a frustrating moment for our city, but we are going through these restrictions with purpose. And that purpose is to get through this challenge so that we can solve the problem once and for all. In doing so, we are laying the groundwork to welcome our 2 millionth Calgarian. We are preparing our city so that as we continue to grow, as we continue to be the beating heart of economic prosperity in this country, we can welcome new families, new children, and people from around the world who choose to live and build their lives here. That is what this investment means. That is what this pipe means, and that is what being a water hero means. We are future-proofing our city. We're solving a problem that never should have happened. But as we solve it, we're doing so with our eyes firmly on the future. A future where Calgary continues to grow, continues to prosper, and continues to generate the economic opportunity that so many people across this country depend on. And that is what Calgary does. And I believe that this is a moment for our partners in other orders of government to see this project for what it is. This is an investment in a growing city, a vote of confidence in a city that is helping lead this country and province in growth, opportunity, and hope. So as our partners in the provincial government consider ways they can support Calgary and our region and southern Alberta, I want to be clear. Investing in this pipe is investing in this city and investing in our people. It is doubling down on what has been a winning formula for more than 150 years. Calgary's success is Alberta's success. And Calgary's success is Canada's success. And so, if the Premier is listening today, I would simply say this. This is a moment to demonstrate that confidence in Calgary, to invest in this city and help us move forward as we future-proof our infrastructure, grow our population, create jobs, generate wealth, and build the next generation of prosperity. And to Prime Minister Carney, this is also an opportunity to demonstrate what Canada can do when we put our minds to something. We are moving ahead on this pipe replacement at a pace that should inspire other jurisdictions across the country, because we are demonstrating that we can get major projects done, and we can get them done on a timeline that actually matters to citizens. This is a nation-building project, not only because of what it means for Calgary, and not only because of what Calgary means for the country, but because of what it means for southern Alberta and for the communities and people that depend on this water system. To unlock that growth and to deliver on the Calgary promise, we need to finish this project. We need to build this pipe. And so our partners in the provincial and federal governments have an opportunity to show confidence in the city, to demonstrate that Team Alberta and Team Canada can work together on major projects, deliver them properly, and deliver them quickly. Projects that change lives, projects that strengthen our cities, projects that prepare our province and our country for growth, success, and prosperity. So as we head into these restrictions from March 9th onward, we are once again asking Calgarians to make small adjustments to their day-to-day lives, to limit showers, reduce flushing where possible, run dishwashers and laundry only when full. But we are asking you to do this because we are taking deliberate steps to solve this problem once and for all. So please, take advantage of this weekend, get your cleaning done, catch up on laundry. Let's work together to get as much done as we can before the restrictions begin. For 1 month, we are asking Calgary and our regional partners to make these small changes so that we can complete this work safely. If we plan ahead, if we work together, we will get through this. And we can do so knowing that the deliberate choices the city has made will deliver a permanent solution by the end of this year. It is an ambitious timeline, and I am incredibly grateful to the city crews and partners who are working around the clock to make it happen. But we need to work together because that's what Calgarians do. And together, we will deliver a brand new pipe at incredible speed, one that ensures our city never has to worry about this again. Not this year, not next year, not when we welcome our 2 millionth citizen, and not when we welcome our 3 millionth. And because we are taking the steps today to future-proof our city, to ensure Calgary can continue to generate the prosperity, opportunity, and hope that have defined the city since the day we were founded. And that is exactly what we're going to deliver. We're happy to answer your questions.
Yeah, thanks for the question. So questions really around the water break that was on 17th Avenue. You can go to our website, calgary.ca, and get updates, current updates on that water main break. Again, that water main break, just to make sure everyone's clear, was from a contractor hitting an existing pipe. It wasn't a pipe issue. It's not similar to the Bearspaw issue that we're talking about, so a completely separate thing. But I'd just ask, go to calgary.ca, and you can get the current updates there. We'll check into that and follow up with you.
They should reach out to our office and tell her which school projects they think should be cancelled. What are your thoughts on that?
Our city council met yesterday as part of a special meeting to better educate Calgarians about the distinction between the portions of the property tax bill that Calgarians have to pay. Right now, we're facing what is likely the largest property tax increase, not just in Calgary's history, but in Southern Alberta's history. In a single year, the typical home owner is being asked to pay an additional $350 solely due to this provincial budget. In our case, our city council team controlled expenses. We did the hard work to be able to reduce spending, and we held our increase to about 1.6%, or about $50 in a typical year. This is a very significant increase, but that said, we want to see more flexibility in terms of how we can communicate the distinction. We welcome the ability to work with our provincial counterparts for ways that we can make the distinction more clear. We understand that it's provincial legislation that actually prohibits us from sending two different bills or two different notices. We're looking for flexibility in that. And then overall, we're looking just for recognition that Southern Alberta and the City of Calgary are the government or the provincial government's economic engine. To have the City of Calgary paying 24% increase and less than half of that in the City of Edmonton, that bears some questions around fairness. We've seen in recent years that it's been a 60% increase in the provincial property tax requisition from Calgarians, and we've not seen a 60% increase in the services or infrastructure that we receive. So if you were giving the City of Calgary the largest property tax increase in our entire history, as you are, but we're not receiving the largest infrastructure increase or the largest service increase in our city's history, it bears some questions. But that said, we're very committed to working in partnership with our provincial counterparts. We understand that they have their constraints that they're dealing with, but I'll continue to maintain that to provide a $350 increase for the typical homeowner. That's quite excessive, and it's even more severe when you take a look at the other types of property homeowners. For example, if you own a multi-residential property, the increase is about $1,200 in a single year. And that's going to have a massive flow-through impact to the affordability of rents locally. And at the commercial and business level, it's about a $2,000 increase in one single year to the typical commercial property. So again, we're committed to working collaboratively with the provincial government to address their infrastructure needs, but to see the largest property tax increase in Calgary's history due to this provincial budget, we think it's warranted to push back and ask for fairness in terms of how Calgary's treated versus the rest of the province.
Question for just a follow-up in regards to the section staff. We're being told that that might be separate. I know the contract says that pipe, but we're being told that pipe is going to be straight to it. And we have to know how old that pipe actually is.
Yeah, so thanks. The question was the age of pipes on 17th Avenue, specifically the one that was hit by the contractor. We actually have pipes in older areas like 17th Avenue that were installed in the early 1900s, and they operate fine and no issues running them. And so we do have pipes of that vintage around the city. We also have pipes of that vintage that we're out replacing. Council had approved a water main replacement program so that we are out proactively replacing some older pipes like that across the city. But if you do go into older neighborhoods, we have older pipes like that.
What's generally the timeline on those pipes? I know it's looking for months to days, but generally how long do you think these pipes potentially last before we are proactive about this?
Yeah, we have a lot of questions around the age of infrastructure and how long it can last. And so there's a lot of pipes, like I mentioned, installed in the early 1900s that are operating fine right now. And so that's why it's not necessarily just the age of the pipe. We go through and we're inspecting all of our pipes. Last year we inspected over 1,000 kilometers of our 5,000 kilometer water main network, looking for leaks, going in and replacing pipe where we're finding leaks. And so it's not just about the age of the pipe. We're really looking to proactively identify where there are leaks and issues and fixing those issues.
With the work that's expected to begin on Monday, you talked about the 9 different sites where the reinforcement are going to be added to the existing building. How long are we expecting this work to take place, and how long can Calgarians expect to be under these water restrictions?
Yeah, so thanks for the question. Really around the length of water restrictions coming up. And so starting on Monday, March the 9th, for approximately the next 4 weeks is what we're looking for with respect to water restrictions. That's to do this 9 reinforcement pipe segments that we've talked about, 6 near the Sarcee Trail interchange, 3 near the Point McKay Park, as well as some additional work across the system that we'll be doing and across the pipe that we'll be doing at that time.
And then, in terms of the daily water usage, the last time we had restrictions in place, I think there was only maybe 3, maybe 4 days where we kind of got down to that yellow zone in terms of water usage across the city. I guess at what point, if daily water use is still in that risky red zone, are more efforts going to be looked at? Like sending out that emergency alert or other types of communication to really drive home, to Calgarians who cut their head in the sand for whoever knows why, but in order to get that message across much more clearly and firmly. Yeah,
so question really around what are we going to do if we're not hitting that target? And again, that target of 500 million liters a day, I'd mentioned earlier this week that when I looked at the water dashboard, you can go to calgary.ca, see the water dashboard that shows the daily water use. Last week, Calgarians were using between 504 and 515 million liters of water a day. We're asking everyone to help us get down to 500 million liters a day. 515 to 500 is a 3% change. So overall, a really small change. And we're asking you to do that by doing those 3 small things. Reducing your showers, skipping some flushes, and only running your laundry when it's full and your dishwasher when it's full. And so the question about what happens if we're not hitting that, we're going to be ramping up our efforts. That's why we really appreciate everyone being here to help us get the message out. Like you said, we'll be getting those, Calgarians will be getting postcards in the mail starting today, really letting everyone know what's coming in. We appreciate Calgarians not just reducing their water use, but also talking to their neighbors, talking to their family and their coworkers to find out what they're doing to save water. If we can get the message out, if we can all do some small steps, I'm confident we can get down to that 500 million litres a day for the next 4 weeks while we do this critical work.
And Mayor Francis, you talk about other levels of government stepping up to be partners with the city as we go through this time and experience this growth and things like that. Earlier today, asking Premier Smith, is her government able to support the city as we go into this next water restriction, if there's any funding, things like that. She pointed to the city having ample reserves through that fiscal reserve fund. So does that kind of sound like to you that the province isn't exactly wanting to play nice on this issue and saying, it's up to Calgary to fix the Calgary problem?
Well, firstly, I just want to thank the Premier for highlighting how our City Council team has been good stewards alongside our City Administration of the money that we spend. We inherited about a 6% property tax increase from the previous City Council. We did the hard work to bring that down to 1.6%. I want to thank the Premier for highlighting that fact. It is a contrast with the about 24% increase that the provincial government is choosing to implement. So there is quite a bit of a contrast in terms of the financial approach of our City Council as it compares to the provincial government. But what I will say is that we're just asking for fairness. Firstly, when it comes to our desire to partner at the federal level, we've seen federal investments to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, say at the city of Montreal, to be able to enable new regional housing development. So there's a significant precedent of the federal government contributing to those nation building types of projects. And when you think about Calgary's role in southern Alberta as well, there's a recognition from the provincial government that when Calgary succeeds, the rest of our province succeeds. So it's not just an ask for Calgary alone, it's also to be able to support our First Nations neighbours, the Tsuut'ina Nation. It's to support Chestermere, to support even rural Alberta, Strathmore, and Airdrie. And the ask specifically highlights in the provincial budget, there's specifically funds that are earmarked for specific municipalities, right? So when we see about money earmarked for specifically small and medium-sized municipalities, we're just asking for a fair share. I know that it's a common argument that the Premier has made where the taxes that are collected in a certain area, whether it's in the area of the province or in the area of the country, so it should see a commensurate level of investment back. And when we look at the historic largest property tax increase in Calgary's history, thanks to the provincial requisition, we're asking for that level of investment back. And it's to also to be able to shore up some of those areas that are most impacted, right? So when we ask for assistance for Calgary's essential infrastructure, it's not just for our city, it's also to help, say, Chestermere, which is facing a 32% property tax increase on the provincial level. So again, we're very eager to be able to show our work and to be able to show the business case for investing in southern Alberta. This is economic activity that it'll drive business, it'll drive continued population growth. If we can't solve for our current water challenges, we're not going to be able to continue to grow, and we're not going to be able to continue to contribute to the provincial economy overall. And that's what we want to do. We want to come to the table as equal partners. We want to contribute, and we want to work with the provincial government to be able to get this done. So I understand conversations are ongoing. We're seeking some clarity from the provincial government as far as what some potential budget sources might be for funding this top priority for southern Alberta, and really looking forward to the continued engagement. And the last thing I'll say is just a thank you to the Premier. She was engaged within minutes of when the December 30th break happened. We're engaged with many different ministers and different portfolios about ways that they could support Calgary through this. So, it's very much about taking them for their word. During the most recent break, they expressed a desire and a willingness to help Calgary through the situation so that we can continue to provide water for our population as well as our nearby neighbors. And we take them at their word that they want to help, and this is the way that they can help. We've exhausted you guys. Thank you very much.